We are back, and I got the phone call that threw me off at the end of live. So now we're gonna finish out the rest of the HHN special report. So I decided to break it off to HHN special stories. So let's get it on in. We're gonna play our first song first, then we're gonna get it cracking. That's a goddamn what? One Productions.
I'm on a whole nother level. I've been doing this forever. We all gotta stay together. The revolution is forever. I'm on a whole nother level. I've been doing this forever. We all gotta stay together. The revolution is forever. Forever. Phenomenal lyrics, that you feel in your spirit, spiritual, lyrical, miracle. Now you scared of these lyrics, they fear it, the rip it, rip you, the part you, the bitches, government tripping, I kill them, they throw in the rivers, they turn into blood dripping off from your skull. Hey, shot in your blood, you ain't fucking with us. That's an anthem for rebels, they die for whatever, with the Beretta ARs, AKs are better than ever. I several heads, got the feds really scared, yeah, I stay prepared, shooting you everywhere full of pain, so we gon' change the game, rearrange everything in the name of the hurricane, got people waking up, sharper than paper cuts, fans they running up, yeah, we spray them up, I am a warrior, you are a warrior, yeah, we coming out victorious, on a whole nother level, I've been doing this forever, we all gotta stay together, the revolution is forever, on a whole nother level. I've been doing this forever. We all gotta stay together. The revolution is forever. Forever. Shoot at the enemy. Who is the enemy? You know it's the government. Don't fucking play with me. Marching and shooting. Free the world from pollution. Education is useless. From the bad institutions. It's the only solution. Call it revolution. Military and national guards. Yeah, I gotta regroup until your rescue. Yeah, I'm blowing it up. Got a new protocol jumping down and turn you to dust. It doesn't even matter. My shadow going faster as I blast it. Going past you, causing disaster. So it can't be the master style, master blaster. Then after I snap it, clap it. So happy the final chapter. Then capture the fucking thing. Shoot your all in they bladder. I'm better than better. The mad hatter. I'm getting madder. I scatter your body parts in the batter. Over your ladder. Dragging your soul to the darkest abyss. So you motherfuckers never forget. I'm on a whole nother level. I've been doing this forever. We all gotta stand together. The revolution is forever. I'm on a whole nother level. I've been doing this forever. We all gotta stand together. The revolution is forever. I'm on a whole nother level. I've been doing this forever. We all gotta stand together. The revolution is forever.
One Productions.
My nigga, you dead wrong. Get it with a phone, couldn't put a trigger, nigga, know you about to get your head blown. Bring it to the way, don't care, to the pants, and there you now you headstrong. Put it to the limit when I get it like it's scared of a vinegar, my man is dead wrong. Send it to the dead zone. Bustin' dead clone. City on the metal bullets hitting up your chest like that. Throwing up a set, better show some respect, grab a take. You motherfuckers should've wore a vest. Great may be the name. When I come through, y'all see the flame. Revolutionary be the game. This whole world won't be the same. Dead wrong. They say I'm dead wrong. You are dead wrong. Get your head blown. Send to the dead zone. They say I'm dead wrong. They say I'm dead wrong. You are dead wrong. I'm coming with the 4-4 quick and I don't quit. So sick, so slick, get your dough kick. And the government, they ain't ready for this bullshit. Now everybody grab the Glock, roll up and pop the top. Drive off and pop the top. Shoot a lot of cops, send all the fans. Y'all motherfuckers gotta drop. They bring their Robocops, I got an EMP. Lights out, bitch, you can't see me be. CDD, got my FG. Put a code in your can if you mess with me. You got a 10 for me and I'm blessed to see. All you rebels in the next to me. And you know I got a check with me. Y'all better not mess with me. Dead wrong. They say I'm dead wrong. You know you dead wrong. Get your head blown. Listen to the dead song. They say I'm dead wrong. They say I'm dead wrong. You know you dead wrong. You get your head blown. Listen to the dead song. Dead wrong. They say I'm dead wrong. You know you dead wrong. You get your head blown. Listen to the dead song. Dead wrong. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No motherfucker gets a goddamn hurricane. Bring a story rain and it's made out of flames. Ain't no competition, I'm restored everything. Tell the government about to shoot him in the brain. Call me insane, I'm a little bit deranged. Fire in my veins and I'm taking other lanes. Throw him in the trash, get him hit by a train. I don't think his head is really ready for the war. Chop him into pieces, leave him under a floorboard. Take another government gang, it's a fun show. Hang a credit cards in the bar, be a gun store. RPGs on the medicine C4. People looking at me, asking where do we go? Till the fight comes, but the let the key go. Blow the bitch up, yeah, that's how we roll. For the government and everything that they doing. For the government, they trying to get the shooting. For the fucking freedom is always pursuing. Get it from my way, gonna be about to get the shooting. For the government, everything that they doing. For the government, they trying to get the shooting. Motherfucking freedom is always pursuing. Get it from my way, gonna be about to get the shooting. For the government, everything that they doing. For the government, they trying to get the shooting. Motherfucking freedom is always pursuing. Get it from my way, gonna be about to get the shooting. For the government, everything that they doing. For the government, they trying to get the shooting. Motherfucking freedom is always pursuing. Get up from my way, gonna be about to get the shooting. Flowing like a warrior, fight like a warrior. On the battlefield, hell yeah, it's warriors. Coming out victorious, we are notorious. Ain't nobody ready for the motherfucking hurricane. Going at speed limits, I keep ripping money, keep flipping, I keep getting your peak. Pippin' this street business, and keep business, the street business. You can tell my secret, I bring the heat in it. Can't fuck with us, indeed, from a motherfuckers wanna light you up. Then from the building, I'ma snipe you up. The TikTok about to clock you up. Your time is up, to get a fed and tie you up. They use a bitch as a decoy. If I'm in the building and activate by a keyboard. Let me get chick, chillin' on the east of seaboard. Set off the missiles and while I'm smoking on the seashore. For the government and everything that they're doing. For the government, they're trying to get the shooting. Motherfucking freedom is always pursuing. Get up on my way, get me about to get the shooting. For the government and everything that they're doing. For the government, they're trying to get the shooting. Motherfucking freedom is always pursuing. Get up on my way, get me about to get the shooting. For the government and everything that they're doing. For the government, they're trying to get the shooting. Motherfucking freedom is always pursuing. Get up on my way, get me about to get the shooting. For the government and everything that they're doing. For the government, they're trying to get the shooting. Motherfucking freedom is always pursuing. Get up on my way, get me about to get the shooting. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We about to crack the code. We hacking everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We about to crack the code. Hacking everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We about to crack the code. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We about to crack the code. Breaking the facilities, killing all our enemies, hacking every fucking thing. Gotta get a bunch of cheese, treated like a SEAL team, shooting with the drill team, booming ass movie till you reach my fucking kill scene. Yeah, world is a stage, I'm releasing all my rage, taking faces off like a motherfucking Nick Cage. In the days when I spray, this how I retaliate. Yes, I eradicate rules, yeah, I have to break everything. Yeah, we hacking everything. About to crack the code. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We about to crack the code. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We about to crack the code. California, everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We about to crack the code.
11:45.
What you tried to tell me what to do, I would not comply. Government tried to block the truth, so they gotta die. You tried to tell me what to do, I would not comply. Government tried to block the truth, so they gotta die. I'ma ride with my 45, kid on the side, blowing up a building, causing motherfucking homicide. Putting C4 when they ride, deal them every time, like a mob flick. Now I'm hacking all the phone lines, black cards and credit cards, exotic cars. I might hack on, crash them all into a wall. Car, yeah, I made them empires fall. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We just about to crack the code. Hacking everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We just about to crack the code. Hacking everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We just about to crack the code. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We just about to crack the code. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We just about to crack the code. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We just about to crack the code. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We just about to crack the code. Everything, yeah, we hacking everything. We just about to crack the code. We just about to crack the code. We just about to crack the code.
So you play one more. We'll play one more.
Hurricane the Style Master. I'm Hurricane, let me tell you a story. Story of the glory, but you gotta hold my 40 for me. I was chillin' watching Rick and Morty, and my chick came through, and you know she was getting naughty. Dressed up, went to a party. So many drinks, I think I grabbed up a Bacardi. We was digging on the dance floor, but you know, the cops just burst through the damn door. Me and her start blasting. Y'all didn't know that my girl is an assassin. Me and her laughing, jumping out the window, landed on the car where I think it was a Benzo, smoking on the endo as we roll out to the liquor store, then back to her house. She said that was hot, I said no doubt. Took off her clothes, then we fucked on the couch. Baby girl's an assassin. Yeah, my baby girl is an assassin. My baby girl is an assassin. Yeah, my baby girl is an assassin. Look, let me tell you another story. Chilling at the diner and the feds, they was coming for me. Baby girl told me load up. Civilians getting hit if they motherfucking don't duck. Test your luck like the game show, but the price is right, bitch, and you know what we came for. You chillin' back in your wheel of fortune. Me and my girl come through, about to kill just to get a portion. Shoot your head, knock your brain in orbit. Body get contorted, guaranteed it'll be recorded. Hop in the car where baby flow it. Put the pedal to the metal, best believe it, keep the street scorching. Style master, keep the heat going. My girl roll the weed, and you know we gotta keep smoking. Baby girl wetter than the ocean. She said come here, so you know I gotta get up on it. Baby girl is an assassin. My baby girl is an assassin. My baby girl is an assassin. My baby girl is an assassin. Yeah, star blast. My baby girl is an assassin. Star blast. Baby girl is an assassin. Star blast. Baby girl is an assassin. Star blast. My baby girl is an assassin. Star blasting.
Hey, now it's time to get over to the news. I know I was supposed to have did it with the other HHN, but I was like, fuck it, I had a phone call from my sister, so I take care of that shit. The shit threw me off, and I came back. The shit was all fucking muted and shit. So I'm like, fuck it. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna just stop and just do another live. And hope everybody cool. But before we get off into the magic, what the fuck? Yes, right here. Before we get off into the magic, we need to talk about the anime world. You already know what it is. For all those that love the anime scene, we got to talk about how these fruitcake lobbyists and these activists are mad that we like to draw beautiful women and put them in great stories and in video games and in comic books. It's like they see a beautiful woman, they're like, oh my god, no, ew. But they'll promote an obese character with no character background at all, like no character development at all. So like they promote the bullshit Lizzo agenda. But dog, like in all seriousness, in all seriousness, like in all seriousness, and I've been noticing since 2015 how they have been trying to make all the women ugly. And you see a beautiful woman, it's like ew, you know, and I'm like, what the fuck going on here? We see in comic books where Robin, Superboy is fruitcakes. They're putting fruitcakes in your movies, TV shows, best-selling novels, and they're making the women look like Brock Lesnar in video games. Now, and not to mention the crazy bad dialogue. And when it comes to the TV shows, don't get me started on what they did to Doctor Who. Everybody talking about that new Starfleet Academy. Oh my God. Much love, Vonta. She's like, don't watch it. No. Because I'm already hearing platformers saying, yo, but this shit is beyond trash. But it is what it is. But like when it comes to our escapism, that's what they're trying to fuck with. Because we're not fucking with politics. So like they're like, we're going to inject our politics in your escapism. And then you wonder why most Western places lose fucking money. And you wonder why we still fucking with Japanese animation. You wonder why I still fuck with Japanese horror. I love Japanese horror like a motherfucker, and Korean horror. They on point with it. They on point with it. They know how to scare you. And they know how to draw beautiful women and know how to make a great dialogue, great story. But over here in the Western world, make everybody gay and make the chicks look like dudes. So we need to cover this. So I need to give a shout out to the channel that I was watching because I'm subscribed to it. Hold on. It's the Monte Sensei channel. Shout out to the Monte Sensei channel. You about to go right now.
If it's one thing that causes the most outrage in current day, it's the feminine physique. Who would have known that the woman's body itself would be politically incorrect? And not even a nude body, because if you're obese looking like a stripper at a basketball game, ew, you're celebrated as woman empowerment, and any criticism is labeled as body shaming. But if you're girl next door hot with two beautiful assets, heavies on display doing a jeans ad, it's Nazi propaganda. Side note, never capitulate to the mob, Sweeney. You only dig yourself a hole in doing so. But I use this as an example to show it's the healthy, attractive, objectively desired body that gets people upset with the boogeyman male gaze is attracted to. So much that One Punch Man will have blood, violence, people getting punched in the crotch, and a naked man transforming, mocking Sailor Moon. But a girl in booty shorts is where the line is drawn because that's just too much for the eyes to see. But let's get to the anime part later. Because when it comes to Western entertainment, it's pitiful and hilarious to see how far people will go to defend ugly. Like saying this Mystique in the new Wolverine game is acceptable while gaslighting you like this wasn't intentional to make her ugly, saying things like, what does it doesn't matter that she looks like this. How does this affect gameplay? Well, if it doesn't matter, why make her intentionally unattractive in the first place? Same thing with Rogue, who's known to be a femme fatale, using her looks and seductiveness to get her way, known for her curvy figure. Nice ass! It was too much for people, giving her a massive downgrade because the cake was too much. They had people demanding, bring the booty back. We want it now! All types of video game women characters intentionally made to look like fours at best, barely scratching the average mark. And if you dare suggest or mod them to look prettier, curvier, desirable, you'll get a slew of death threats sent your way, like with this Ghost of Yote upgrade with the heavies on full display. Hell yeah! Like when I see this, I laugh thinking that this guy must be cool as shit, whoever put this together, someone I could share a glass of whiskey with. But for others, they just throw a fit temper tantrum like it's World War III. And no matter how many examples you bring their way, they'll gaslight you still into thinking there isn't any agenda to uglify women and suppress feminine beauty. Even when this dev himself spoke out, he faced backlash from his own peers for doing so. I'm not talking about mild changes. I'm talking about pose, aura, style, softness, age, flair. I hate giving Gamergate men fuel, but it's very difficult to pitch beautiful or vain black women in games without them coming back like grocery store aunties. There is room for both. There's been a handful of times I've pitched black woman characters that look like this. Then after 10 iterations, the concept or model comes back without a speck of the original beauty I pitched. And it's a shame that this is a Western problem exclusively. Eastern creators actually know what gamers want. It's like attractive characters is 101, a basic that there shouldn't be any time wasted to argue not to make them look desirable. Beauty and attractiveness are timeless, which is why this was one of the worst takes in gaming history.
Do you think the character model was actually like very distracting in not a good way? Because like with the camera angles chosen, it just felt like this game seems like a game that
he sounded like a fucking fruitcake that didn't like to see a beautiful woman on a motherfucker's grave. That motherfucker's a fucking fruit.
came out in like 002 in terms of its, like character design. It's like a bit old and not flattering, I don't think, for a modern audience. In comparison to something like Forspoken.
Stellar Blade becoming Sony's most successful PC launch, and the opposite with Forspoken. People want attractive characters at least, while everything else stems from there. And it seems that the East is delivering on that. But if it's one thing, as I've stated in many videos, that activists hate, it's people having preferences, choices, and options to choose from, which by default now makes Eastern creators a target for the typical activist tactics, censorship, suppression, or just outright banning. Someone made a good point with this X post, that if you want to know why women in video games have to be fat and ugly, sharing a video of a great social experiment that explains this well. An attractive woman in a stewardess outfit stands alone while people walk by, and you'll see numerous women as they walk by giving her an ugly look. Like, how dare she be attractive in broad daylight, as a feminine beauty they despise itself and should have a real-life censor black bar over her. With this response, I think really summing it up well. Men just cannot comprehend how vicious intersexual female competition can be. Which is why you have feminists like Collective Shout demanding Eastern games with attractive anime girls be banned, saying things like they have impossibly large breasts, like real women aren't stacked like that in real life. Which anyone that's been to my live streams, how many times have we been through this? I mean, by this point, we damn near have a segment celebrating the heavies on stream. Which reminds me of that scene in Naruto where Sakura gets jealous of
Salute, live and learn.
別に恥ずかしがって隠そうとしなくてもいいじゃない。なんかあなたがいつも羨ましいと思うわ。その膨らみだけは。
Which brings me to this X post. Kishimoto is one of the few mangakas who does not sexualize his female characters. And in the comments below, they go on to why he's the greatest because of this. But this is why you should never try to appease these types who are allergic to the feminine physique, ruled by political correctness.
Yeah, allergic to the feminine physique. Like a motherfucker see a bad bitch, a motherfucker cringe. Oh my God, she's too beautiful. Oh my God, you're a fucking faggot. Yes, I said the F word. I don't give a fuck. Or in the words of Ice-T from the Law and Order, nigga, that means you're gay. But they did a social experiment of a bad chick wearing a stewardess outfit and a whole bunch of, that just say oogly googlies was walking past giving her the motherfucking stank face. She just standing there looking attractive.
Fan service is somehow foreign to anime. It's because you'll dig yourself a hole in doing so, or be like a dog chasing its own tail, because baseline female attraction isn't allowed at all by activist standards, as made example in this article. Naruto fans stunned Kishimoto's perverse wardrobe choice for Hinata was secretly armor all along. The objectification of women in shonen isn't limited to Naruto. However, Kishimoto has to be one of the worst offenders of it. Which is why I advise creators, never try to pander to these types. There will always be complaints to maneuver through like an obstacle course, versus people who don't get offended by fan service in anime but appreciate it along with a good story. And I think that's why it seems there's this coordinated effort to suppress or ban the anime aesthetic due to not having direct control in the creative process to make these characters butchered and ugly as they have to these Western female characters. Their solution is just outright ban it, make it almost illegal or damn near impossible to produce attractive female characters, with the latest example being the game Brown Dust 2 being removed from Steam, full of very attractive anime girls, even with an ad that caused plenty of outrage in Tokyo, I think it was.
And a kid got arrested for having one of the girls in his phone, and he was on his way to a Brown Dust convention in New York. He's coming from Ireland. You know, dog, it's fucked up.
A busty 3D anime girl that if I happened to walk by would have caught my attention. Hell yeah. It's almost like a firm why this game was taken down. At this point, it's kind of safe to assume why. When the public pushback collectors shout receive, realizing how much in the minority they really were with their views being called out extensively, these types are probably operating in the shadows more than ever now. This, along with another game, Lover Kiss, Endless Memories being removed, Corpse Party, Tetralogy being blocked by Nintendo of America, the anime aesthetic is clearly under attack. The last place where decent-looking characters are standard. But what makes it even worse is when so-called fans cheer it on. Like this is a plus, all thumbs up for censorship. Like when it comes to Demon Slayer.
Right, all thumbs up for censorship. Like, what the fuck? I just started my motherfucking anime art training, and I'm pretty damn fucking good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I can't draw my ladies. Get the fuck out of here.
All three beautiful wives have these on deck being covered up for the Chinese version, celebrating the downgrade while disparaging Japan itself, saying, honestly, good. The Japanese are just so over the top and weird with sexualizing women and little girl characters. Then you have this user reacting to this image of a vintage anime double circuit, side note, that has an awesome classic fan service strip scene, as well as having a display of the classic now endangered species of a troll panty shot, and they said, why I don't watch much retro animes. And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Right. And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Fan service strip scene, as well as having a display of the classic now endangered species of a troll panty shot, and they said, why I don't watch much retro animes. And I got news for you. That means you're gay. Right, responding to Tokyo Morris, the comic writer, displaying possibly the heaviest of heavies this season, saying, dude, you can't be serious. Jump! I recently said this on X. I've been trying to decide which is worse, an anime tourist or a long-time fan who's now converted into a tourist-like behavior, being guilt-tripped into feeling ashamed for what they've been a fan of for all their lives, now trying to atone for the sin of being an anime fan, now condemning it with so many else. But regardless, it's frustrating to see people.
Right, want to condemn you for being an anime fan. Like, man, nigga, I love anime, and I'm going to keep loving it. I love the storyline. I love the dialogue. And if there's a badass bitch, that's an extra motherfucking cherry on top. Like a kickback, like, yeah, this is a great motherfucking show. 10 out of 10, motherfucker. But no, lobbyists, people are trying to ban like what we have been watching since the 80s. The fuck out of here. When anime first came to America, nigga, we had Fist of the North Star, Dragon Ball Z, and Sailor Moon. And then Toonami started bringing in anime. Then it was the Midnight Run of Toonami. Then it was Adult Swim in this bitch. Like, what? And then when we did our research and going to bookstores and reading other animes, like, man, this shit is awesome.
Who force themselves to watch something that they don't naturally like, but due to FOMO must watch, then bitch and complain about it all too often. They will even gaslight themselves into believing their favorite anime doesn't have fan service because anime may go against their religious, politically correct beliefs. Like,
right, it may go against your religious and political beliefs. This is why I say people need to get rid of that political and religious dogma. It will keep you from your fun. It will keep you from what you love to do. You're like, oh my God, I love this show, but I can't watch it because I love Jesus. Or I Can't watch it because it was made by the Democratic Party. Oh man, this world is fucking cooked.
Tried to do a Spy Family. Spy Family literally takes the prize because it doesn't need
I gotta
to
watch
resort
Spy
to typical
Family. I
shonen
gotta watch
tropes
that.
and sexualize any character to achieve its success. When her assassin outfit suggests anything but, it's a reason why she wears that on duty, adopting a dark persona. When wearing a dress that displays voluptuous cleavage, thigh highs, with a camera that conveniently captures a great shot of the heavies. Which is why her demeanor is completely different compared to when she's wearing a more conservative dress. Now, I remember watching a scene from The Aviator, a biopic on Howard Hughes' life, when trying to get a movie approved by a board that featured a woman's cleavage slightly.
I have reviewed Mr. Hughes' photoplay entitled The Outlaw, but I've never seen anything quite so unacceptable. The girl's mammaries, which are quite large and prominent, are shockingly uncovered and should be denied the Motion Picture Association seal of approval.
Mr. Breen, it's good to see you again. I haven't seen you all since that situation with all the violence in Scarface. Gene Harlow, Ann Sheridan, Irene Dunn, Claudette Colbert. All these shots, save for Miss Russell, were enlarged from pictures that received Mr. Breen's seal of approval. As you've probably noticed by now, they all contain mammaries.
It made me think the feminine physique has always been a place of concern, whether it's the heavy religious right that condemns it as a vice or temptation from the devil, or the politically correct left that hate it because it serves the male gaze, and since men are evil in their book, our interests must never be served. So the politically correct left is only for ugly women being highlighted in media because they know it's unattractive to the majority of men, which is where the intersexual competition comes into play again, between women who don't like there being an ideal type being held up high that may make them feel less in comparison, which I think the scene from Sailor Moon captures well.
白雪姫の役はやっぱし胸が一番大きな私がもらうよ。比べてみるかい?
Which is something I've seen firsthand. Women can be very vicious when it comes to tearing down other women they deem more attractive, which is what these feminists love to do to other women, but even more oddly to fictional female characters, which is where I think this onslaught attack on the anime aesthetic is coming from. And also men who act on their behalf, trying to gain favor, who on the low know they prefer Eve from Stellar Blade than this abomination.
I'm sorry. I can't look at you. I can handle ugly, but this is like circus ugly.
I'll end this video on a good note. I'm glad it's not only the West realizing this, but people in Japan and the East overall are waking up, seeing this creep into their own creative process in anime like a feminist did with Bocchi the Rock. Check out my video on that. But even with this notable Japanese user stating outright, overseas characters are becoming increasingly unattractive. This time I would like to explain this matter. This observation has been treated as a subject of ridicule or conspiracy.
Yeah, they call it a conspiracy, but I've been following this shit since 2015. It ain't no fucking conspiracy. Now it's coming out like, yeah, man, they really fucking with our characters. They're ruining our TV shows.
10 years, right on that. However, looking at recent trends in the gaming industry, it is no longer a laughing matter. It has become a well-known fact that is repeatedly discussed even in overseas game communities. DEI consulting firms like Sweet Baby Inc., combined with criticism of lookism on social media, has led to character expressions that intentionally strip away beauty and appeal, prioritizing ideological consistency, uglification, becoming entrenched, as has been pointed out. And I'll leave a link to this tweet in the description to read in full. But things like these need to be called out for the sake of creative freedom, keeping activists out of entertainment where they don't belong, acting as the fun police, destroying everything we love. Then maybe even Western entertainment can begin to heal as well through new and up-and-coming independent creators, because that's where I believe the true cure to all of this will come from. But that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comments below. It's funny how guys don't have a problem with this. We don't care if male characters cater to the female gaze, if anything it serves as motivation to hit the gym or whatever, but I think that social experiment video really captures something intrinsic, but I digress. Also, if you haven't checked out my...
All right, now let's get on to the magic. Let's get on to the magic. Here we go.
You see, in order to explore occult history, we must understand what magic is and distinguish it from all its counterfeit variations. Magic's not only real, but the history of magic goes back to the origin of humanity. Magic, at its core, is mysticism, an alteration of consciousness in order to achieve a certain result. For most of the people in the modern day think this is woo-woo or new age or just a bunch of BS, but most of this comes from our modern belief system. We're taught a cosmology of randomness, a nihilist ideology which directly affects not only our view of what's possible, but directly inhibits our magical power.
So you're saying I can't do magic because I don't believe hard enough?
No, it's deeper than that. The ancient mystery schools understood something that we've completely forgotten. Magic isn't separate from reality. It is reality. It's the foundation. I'm talking about ancient mystery schools being the foundation for religions, for science, for our entire understanding of consciousness, the actual operating system of existence. For thousands of years, in Egypt, Greece, Persia, they all had mystery schools. And what they taught wasn't religion as we understand it today. They were spiritual technologies. Ancient historians like Herodotus, Plutarch, Iamblichus described the Great Pyramid not as a tomb, but as an initiatory temple. Initiates would undergo symbolic death and resurrection. They would literally exit their body, travel through different realms, and come back transformed. It's the same thing with the Eleusinian mysteries in Greece. Initiates would drink a sacred mixture and experience what we'd call today a near-death experience. They'd encounter divine beings, receive knowledge, and return back from the dead.
Oh, so they were tripping on psychedelics.
Except everyone that went through it described the same entities, the same realms, the same knowledge structure. That's not random hallucinations. Then these weren't just New Age spiritual exercises. The mystery schools taught that reality itself is conscious, that mind came before matter, and that through altering your consciousness, you could interact with the fundamental layer of existence. And look, the magical claims from ancient sources are absolutely wild. Most of you know of one magical ability, astral projection, the ability to exit your physical body and travel to other locations or even other dimensions. The Egyptians called it the body of light, and they had entire rituals dedicated to this. Oracles who could see the future, not just vague predictions. I mean, these were specific, detailed information about events that hadn't happened yet. Kings and emperors would travel thousands of miles to consult them. Alexander the Great trekked 300 miles across the Sahara Desert to the Oracle of Siwa. The priest greeted him as the son of God before he even spoke, and told him he would conquer the world and he'd never be defeated. And apparently he did. And this is weird. So right after this, he changes his whole look, declares himself to be God, and then they have all these depictions of the horns of Alexander, almost as if they merged him with some pan iconography. You think you're... And it literally says he was the one who built the Great Wall of China to keep Gog and Magog out of civilized lands. It also says that the wall will cross multiple cultures from all over.
The Temple of Jerusalem. Well, the Temple of Jerusalem, allegedly, because we all know ain't nobody in the Bible that really ever existed, but let's just play the game. If Solomon existed, he had a ring from God that gave him power to control demons. Demons were forced to build the temple. That alone should make you ask the question, why in the fuck do you need demon intervention instead of divine intervention? How come you can't get the angels to come down and have a heavenly temple? But no, you have to nigga force demons to do this shit. Even the phone agrees. What type of shit is this? Let's think about it. Let's play the game if this whole biblical shit is real. King Solomon, which they didn't put in the Bible, by the way. I read 2 different versions of that book. And people need to read what it's called. I think it's called the Testament of Solomon. And read about I think it's the 72 Goetia demons of Solomon or some shit like that. Damn, I think I read like 3 versions. I read that the fucking demon shit. I read the Testament of Solomon, and there's another Solomon story that's like the darker version, but like it's a little lighter, where like Asmodeus is like really buddy with Solomon, but like the darker version, they're not buddy at all. Like Asmodeus is like, bitch, you're gonna fall from your fucking throne and authority, and we demons gonna take over the fucking world. It's so many words. And Asmodeus was kind of right a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know, King Solomon fell from grace as a drunk motherfucker, worshiping other gods and shit. And the demons took over the world. But we don't believe in that shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But what we do see is evil world leaders and elites and globalists and the globalists They're fucking up the planet. I ain't seen no demon or an angel yet, man. But I know there's some people with names and faces like Bill Gates and Dr. Tony Fauci and Trump diddly yump, you know. But you know, I digress.
In the world, there's this common pattern of using magic or supernatural entities for the creation of different structures. The most famous example being Solomon and his brass vessel. He summoned and commanded demons to build his temple. He even had this special worm called the shamir that apparently could eat stone. Was this some type of technology to melt or disintegrate stone? But it's more than that. This shamir was used to engrave the stones of the priestly breastplate of the high priest of the Hebrews. So when you look at these perfect laser-cut hieroglyphs, it really makes you wonder, what is this legend referring to? Is it some type of lost ancient technology? History is filled with these strange magical technologies, and you've heard of many of them. For example, the Ark of the Covenant. Typically described as a device for communicating with God, it was rumored to make people sick, and even cause blindness to those who look at it. But throughout history, this device is essentially a reset device. It literally levels cities.
I thought the Ark was just a Bible story. There's no evidence it actually did anything.
Well, what about the walls of Jericho? Were they just marching around with trumpets and the walls fell? Or was it the Ark? When the Philistines captured...
Nigga, the fucking Ark was a photon cannon. Have anybody played Marvel vs. Capcom 2? The fucking Ark of the Covenant, it said it was leveling cities. It was causing plagues. Motherfucker touched that bitch on accident and died. Like, nigga, the Bible is grimy with it. nigga, I'm talking about like the bitch was about to fall and the nigga reflex. Oh my God, I gotta not the motherfucker let the Ark of the Covenant fall. This nigga motherfucker, you know, grab it and save it, but he dies in the process. I think there was one story about like a camp. It took that motherfucker and shit, like, yeah, we got the Ark of the Covenant. Then everybody got sick and died. Like, what the fuck is the Ark of the Covenant, really? But, you know, they claim it's in Ethiopia. You like the actual one. And they got some old motherfucker guarding it. I highly doubt it. It seems believable and sentimental because they want to touch your heartstrings. But no, I think the Vatican got that motherfucker. And if the Vatican don't got that motherfucker, allegedly, then that bitch is probably already, it's probably somewhere, but like it don't got no power in it. It probably, you know, just used up. Or maybe the elites got it. Watch the old, what's that movie called? Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Those evil elite motherfuckers opened up that bitch and immediately died. Flesh peeled off their fucking bones. Harrison Ford like, shield your eyes. Shield your eyes. Yeah, I don't want to see that shit either. Those niggas died. Those niggas died. Like, you know, hold on, please stop.
It literally caused plagues and cataclysm. A device that caused devastation wherever it went. Of course, it has to say in 1 Samuel that the Ark's power wasn't a magical charm, but actually, it was just God's pure essence. Right. I don't know, sounds like a reset device to me.
Wait, but isn't magic just demonic stuff?
Well, that's typically what most Christians automatically conclude. But let's talk about what Christians do every single day. Prayer.
Yep, let's talk about what Christians do every single day. Prayer. And Christians say, we're not into magic. Prayer is a form of mental magic. This is why I prefer the inner self, where we speak affirmations, meditation, understanding our chakra system, breathing techniques. And we're not speaking to God, we speak it to our inner self within. But whether Christians know it or not, it is a form of mental magic. No, it's not. You can gaslight yourself all you want. You can lie to yourself all you want. But even Michael Jackson said it. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Oh, na 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 na. You gotta look at yourself. Look at that man in the mirror. And use your own magic. This is why I learned from Bobby Hemmett and I learned from Brother Panic. You know what I learned from Brother Panic is all that dark occult shit. It's all spookism to scare motherfuckers to not find your real true power. And what I learned from Bobby Hemmett, he said, you're the god, you're the goddesses. Make your own magic, your own sigils, your own altar. You feel me? Because all the other shit don't work no more. It's all on you because the ancestors live within you. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you. So let's get it. Let's keep going.
Intention and focused consciousness to manifest outcomes. That's magic. Here's the thing. Magic can have different power sources. You can channel energy from yourself, from nature, from cosmic forces, from entities, or from what people call God. The mechanism is the same. Focused intention, ritual structure, belief.
Ain't this a mother? Hold on. Scared? Ain't this a bitch? My motherfucking chat been frozen the whole goddamn time. I'm just taking my other phone. Jesus fucking. Somebody was already here. If I ain't saying nothing, like that was probably, oh my fucking god. Chat frozen my other phone. I'm on my other phone checking now. Shouts out to Kismet, if I said that right. But damn. There's a chance. Equals NPC or humans, so not divinity yet. Just like our politicians. Yeah, read both. Yes. The full Goetia has both angels and demons. Okay. The demons are things within self, lust, gluttony, pride, yep, etc. Yep, I learned that from reading from the shamans. I'm so sorry if I haven't like answered anybody. I didn't know that my chat was frozen. Like the last thing on the other phone was live and learn, leaving a salute. That's the last thing I saw. And I keep on forgetting to remind myself, always check my second phone every like 10 or 15 minutes. Electromagnetic energy, like within us, yep. Speaking the manifestation, yep. But many still have broken will and don't know what they're free, yep. See yourself with the same hate and love, get a sense of others, be accountable, yep. Shouts out, shout the eyes wide shut. Yeah, man, this is crazy. You know, my chat froze, and oh my god, you know, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Okay, call you Faye. Okay, cool. All right, I just got to think of Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop. All right, my bad. It's like my goddamn chat frozen. So I will have to see y'all on this other phone. So I just hope this other phone don't lose data in the middle of the live. But shout out to everybody. Or maybe if I do this. Okay, that worked. All right, I left out and I came back in. Now I can see each and every one of your chats. Shouts out to Eyes Wide Shut. Shouts out to Faye. All right, let's get this party rolling. Do you believe in magic?
Christians are doing magic. They're distorting it through their God. And even then, I think we can all agree it is easy to abuse the power of prayer, as I'm sure many of you have seen. People praying in situations where really they shouldn't be bothering the God of the universe with. But that's the thing. Prayer is really a form of mental magic. And what about baptism? A nature initiation ritual? Crosses used as talismans.
Yep. Do you believe in magic? I know I do. I believe in my own mental power. And that shit, that motherfucking shit, I'm talking about, it blew my motherfucking mind. And it still blows my mind every fucking time I say it. My power protected my apartment from a fucking fire. I am on the fucking news. And And it blew my motherfucking mind when I got home from work from a midnight shift and I saw my building on the corner because I'm right off the corner. So I made it see everything burnt out, everything fucked up. I'm like, no. I feel like the Punisher, like when he was in that motherfucking season, like, no. I swear to God, I felt like the Punisher. No. Y'all remember that scene from the Punisher series? It's like, no. I swear to God. So I ran, right? I get to my main door. I'm still saying, no, right? I open that bitch, complete darkness. Everything charred up or frozen over. Mind you, this is 3 days after fucking Christmas. 3 days after fucking Christmas, right? But out of the midst of that darkness, there was a beautiful fucking light shining from my goddamn apartment. As I walk into my wonderful, pristine apartment and look at my TV still up, my bar, I would have to probably motherfuckers share this for my community post. I usually share this once or twice every blue moon. But the first thing I ran to was my goddamn stash. Let's just say that. Ran to my stash, everything was there, my weed and my money. But most importantly, I looked around. Now, don't get me wrong, like there was smoke damage. You know how the smoke damage be on the motherfucking walls and shit. You know, because the motherfucking smoke got in it. You know, it's a fucking fire. It's a fucking fire. So yes, smoke damage, yes. Nothing fell from the roof. I mean, not the roof, but my ceiling. It's like everything was perfect. I looked at my symbols that was on my wall. I looked at my pictures that was on my wall. I was like, yeah, baby, I did it. You know? So I packed up my electronics. I couldn't really take my clothes. I only motherfucker had to roll the clothes on my back. So thank God for my stash. I could buy me some clothes. Called my homie, told him about what happened. Called my uncle. R.I.P. And you know, went to his crib and shit. I mean, like not his crib, but like he had another crib. You know, it was at, but he was somewhere else. So, you know, like my mom was at that crib too. So I was like, I'm gonna be over here for a couple of days and I'm out this bitch. My uncle was like, hey, you know, you can stay upstairs. I was like, fuck that. I'm over my homeboy house. I'm good. I'm not about to be over here with my mom's. Nope. I'll chill on my homeboy's couch. Go to work from there. I'm closer to downtown any fucking way. Chill on homeboy's couch. Smoke weed every day, roast each other, throw parties. It was a cool 3 months. I stacked up 3 months, called up a cat, bam, got my apartment back rolling, and then we good. Got Gucci. But yeah, it's my pause time and move vehicles to avoid collisions. Slid that can move in authority. That's all right. I do the pose of Egypt statues. When I make it happen, I throw fists down to the sides and scream no in magic. So I read that as a sign. You did the work and bypassed the baptism by flame. Majority of the world has oh my God, that's what's up. They say, what fuck my glasses at? Here you go. I can't see without my glasses. Let me grab my $100 Chamberlain frames from Warby Parker. Oh, yes, I'm in Michigan. I'm in Detroit. Yeah, so I read that as a sign. Did the work. Yep. I did the work. I did it every day. I mean, no, I ain't do it every day. I had a strict schedule that I followed for like the 2.5 years I was there. It was Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday meditation. Wednesday, Thursday, reading, writing, and exploring. Friday, exercise, nonstop. Saturday was my rest day. It was strict. I did that shit for 2.5 years straight. Now, when it came to the meditation, it was all meditative and shamanic practices, sometimes Hindu. Like I grabbed like whatever resonated with me. Like the alchemical process that I was in, so like it was kind of like meditation stood out. The transcendental meditation stood out, because it's just nonstop stillness and silence, and like that helped me pull rocks from the ether with my music. I was like, oh, breathing exercises and practicing my mantras and my mudras, and like most importantly, building my altar work, and also paid homage to the goddesses that I needed to protect me, because I'm a revolutionary and shit, warrior type of shit. So I was trying to grab energy from Kali the Destroyer. Yes, Kali. And I wanted energy from Sekhmet, the lion head goddess from Africa and shit with her fine the lion head. You know what I'm saying? So I got Kali, Sekhmet, still paying homage to all the other ancestors, known and unknown, and just most importantly, just doing me. Like give the knowledge, give my knowledge to all the others, but like get back rooted in myself. And also speaking my affirmations in each room, from cabinet to closet, even opened up my cabinets and did shit. So I'm saying it was like my whole fucking crib untouched by fire. Do you believe in magic? Yep. Those your goddesses too? Oh yeah. Kali and Sekhmet hold it down. I still I got Kali's symbol in my wallet right now. You know what I'm saying? We know with her chant. And and my other affirmation of Sekhmet, of Sekhmet, protect me from the enemies that crowd around me. And every time I say that, I feel her hands caressing my fucking shoulders. And when it comes to Kali, when I motherfuckers say Kali's chant, I just like feel like a strong presence of like nice, like love, like she's in her great mother state, because like Kali is very misunderstood goddess. Everybody thinks she just destroys shit. No, they don't understand she has a great mother form too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Holy shit. I thought I was motherfucking tripping. Thank you, Faye. Thank you, Faye. Thank you for confirming that I'm not motherfucking crazy. Oh shit. Kali is both giver and taker of life energy. I love Kali. I think I had a ritual with her one day. You know what I'm saying? And she just, let's just say it was a tantric experience. I was in meditation and I got into this meditative state where I saw myself meditating. I was going to getting closer. I was felt like I was becoming Shiva or some shit. And then out of nowhere, I see arms and I know it's Kali. I know it. And then the tantric practice began. And then right after that great experience, I see a picture online on Facebook of of Kali, and I think Kali and Shiva creating a 6-pointed star, but like they in a tantric position. I'm like, this shit is crazy. But it feels good. Yeah, it feels good. You're so good to me. Now that I don't recall. I don't think I have, but that Shiva experience, it's like felt like I would, felt like just transforming. I was sitting in like a golden aura. It wasn't like a throne. It was like one of those sigils from like Final Fantasy, like when the sigil like pop up on the ground, you do a magic attack, and like a sigil would like pop up, and it's like a sigil that was behind me, like unrecognizable. But like if you play Final Fantasy or any other spell type of games, a person do a magic attack, like a sigil pop up. It's either a 6-pointed star or an 8-pointed star. But this some shit I couldn't recognize. But it was in golden and I'm in meditation. This was all before the fire. This was all before the fire happened. I was wait, the experience was amazing. You said, oh, you called it a 6-point star during the eclipse and have gold star. Oh, snap. You say, yes, or the macabre. Oh, my God. Saad in Egypt. I have the, yeah. Yeah, she holding me like a motherfucker in that tantric experience. It feels good. Yeah, I'm glad I separated this live from the last, because this is a more different live for people that understand, like what what's going on. But oh my God, let's get back to it. Oh man, great experience.
Wearing a cross for protection is a form of magic. What about communion? Now I understand you can present this in different ways, but let's just be real. You're literally eating wine and bread in order to perform a symbolic reenactment of eating.
Yeah. Yup. You're right. I have to stop. I have to stop it. But like first, let me keep my other train of thought. Okay, the other train of thought will come to Christians. Wearing the cross is a form of magic too. But anyway, like back to the comment. Yeah, it was definitely yes. It was like liberation straight up came with it. But it was like 40% of liberation and 60%. Yes, my magic worked. Fuck yeah, I'm a god in this bitch. I passed the test. I'm a bad motherfucker. But yeah, but I lost my crib though. but I'm a bad motherfucker though. It was like a balance of energy. It was like I knew this. I could not be sad. It was like no level of sadness. It was no level of anger. But way before I walked into that building, like I was like the Punisher. I was like, no. Now, oh yeah, even to finish off that story, the news didn't want to put all that I said on the motherfucking news shit. They cut a lot of shit out. They didn't even want to show the symbols that I had on my wall. They didn't even want to show the symbols I had on my wall. As a matter of fact, I got a picture of me standing next to my chakra system. I put the chakra system on a wall, and I got like a 3-pointed star on my in the middle of my forehead and shit. I need to put that picture on my community post, man. But I kind of don't like how it looked. I should have I should have lost more weight then, because you can kind of see it in my face. But like that's just bullshit. That's just some bullshit. But yeah, I gotta find it, because like that's the last, like kind of like the last picture of me being there. And plus I did a live with Low Key T, like that was the apartment that I was in and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like it's good that like that's on file. But yep, I got my Jason mask and my machete in the background while I'm talking and shit. That shit wild. They're like, Hurricane got the Jason mask and a machete in the background. This nigga really crazy. But yeah, man, it was just amazing. Yep. They get how the movie shy. Yep. I'm so glad my eyes eye never sent me to you, bro. You know what? Yeah. I'm glad I'm glad that you're here too, because I really don't really talk about this much. This is like rare occasions, because I'm mostly on the revolution, and I'm thinking about current events, and just putting out like revolutionary type music, sometimes parodies. Like this kind of shows the other side of me, like the other side of the coin, to really truly keep me balanced. Because if I'm out there fighting on that battlefield, I'm gonna need to be, you know, spiritually fully armored up and ready, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, fully in line, ready for battle, or like ready to take on whatever challenge that comes my way, if I got to deal with it socially or physically, whatever. I want to be right. I want to motherfucking make sure the route that I walk on or drive on is right. You know what I'm saying? I speak my affirmation on the road that I walk on. This is my path. It's going to be a golden path. you know, so yeah. And my garment is wonderful. Like I drew it. I drew that shit. Oh my God. It's like white and gold. Yep. Yep. And shout out to Manzai, and shout out to Amma. Yeah, Amma's supposed to be dropping the track. If not today, it might pop up tomorrow. She wanted me to do a verse. So she gonna probably do a hook singing on it. I don't know if she gonna use her voice or probably use the AI voice. It really don't matter. I just I love to like work with fellow artists, rather producer, singer. You know what I'm saying? Just shout out to everybody. Amma, Charles, Sir Drop, Relentless, C City, Jordan, Low Key, Live and Learn, and soon to be Bearded Conversation in a minute. And DJ Graves, and shout out to my producer, Phenom Rogue One, my other producer, Dirty Boy, Boo Dollar, KTP Kush I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. D Cooper, my co-worker. Shout out to everybody. And shout out to everybody that like listen to this side of me. You know what I'm saying? Because like, this once every blue moon where this side comes out. Yup. Yo, we all gotta work together. That's right. And much love to my goddess Vanta, my UK correspondent for the HHN Special Report and the Fuck the Government podcast. And my first lady of the Hurricane at Night Trappist Church on Sundays. You already know it, my goddess Vanta. And she got videos, work together. She put videos to my music. It's just great collaboration. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my lovely lady. And shout out to you for coming through. And shout out to Manzai and Emma for sending you. Let me hook you up at a mod. Bloop. All right, mod you up real quick.
Jesus. This is archaic, bizarre, and most importantly, occult. These are literal magical rituals. They just don't call it that. Now I want to be clear. I'm not condemning Christianity. I just see it for what it is. It's a magical occult book. Holy water that repels demons. Saints' relics that heal the sick. Pieces of the true cross. The Shroud of Turin is basically an ancient magical photograph. Magical objects with supernatural powers. The Catholic Church has entire departments cataloging miracles. And these are just a few examples. We can discuss all the occult and alchemical references in the Bible in another video. They were also using magic with architecture. Structures built with stones weighing hundreds of tons, placed with precision we can barely match today. According to the legends, they sang to the stones, and they used sound, frequency, and consciousness to manipulate matter.
So they sang rocks into place? That sounds physically impossible.
Is it though? We know sound creates matter. That's cymatics. We know that consciousness affects quantum behavior. That's the observer effect. What if the energy? And yes, I get this as a meme now. And many guys today actually see it as a red flag of a girl super into astrology. I mean, I don't think that. But in a way, it's kind of true because most astrology on social media is kind of this basic, oversimplified, oh, which zodiac sign should I date? Which is kind of dumb. You shouldn't just judge someone based on what their sign is, or even follow a daily horoscope religiously. But what is this whole concept of astrology, and what is the origin? Astrology comes from astrotheology, an ancient practice of worshipping the powers of the stars. The ancients would document the effects between different snapshots in time, and the correlation between these heavenly bodies. Every ancient civilization had court astrologers, advisors to kings. And these weren't entertainers. Battles were planned around planetary alignments. Empires rose and fell based on these calculations. They were tracking celestial mechanics and correlating them with events on Earth for thousands of years. That's data collection on a multi-era scale.
Correlation isn't causation, though.
True. But what if consciousness and the cosmos are interconnected? As above, so below. What if we're not separate from reality observing it, but a part of a conscious system? You see, that's just one piece of a much larger picture. But here's where it gets strange. Many can't imagine this to be real today because, well, where's the proof? Why can't I make it work today?
The why you can't make it work today? Because you don't want to put in the work. And I chose 3 days out the week for 2.5 years before my crib got burnt the fuck down. Motherfuckers can't take 3 days out the week to meditate and do that inner work and that shadow work and try to unlock that power, and then use 2 days of studying what you're doing, and then 1 day for good exercise and breathing and the body and shit. Oh yeah, and exercise I was doing was Tai Chi and some motherfucking Wing Chun shit, but mostly Tai Chi. And I chose Tai Chi because it's a martial art and meditation at the same time. So I'm getting 2 for 1. So I was killing that shit. And Saturday was my rest day. I ate what I wanted, did whatever the hell I wanted, drank, you know what I'm saying? You know, if I wanted to drink like crazy, I drank, you know what I'm saying? Chill back, you know what I'm saying? You know, just like time for, you know, like, or I'll just rest. Or I just rest. Yep. Every day, all day. Yep, to reactivate our heart, copper. Yep, wait. Yep, our energy is like quartz. Yep, it's a little bit of crystals. Yep, I love our crystals too. Yep. It said we also had a house fire in 2011. Yep, the fire was your rebirth. Yep, shedding of the old. Yep. But it was like, man, I used to walk into my crib and I used to not see my apartment. I'm like, man, I'm walking into a palace right now. You know what I'm saying? You know? And man, it was still amazing to this day to think about it. Just still amazing. I'm still amazed by it.
But there are more barriers and variables involved, such as the stage of our collective consciousness. But there's also the concept of different frequencies of reality throughout our history. In ancient Greece, they had the concept of a daemon. Not a demon.
Daemon.
A guiding spirit. So apparently, the ancient Greeks could actually literally hear the voice of God in their heads. Socrates talked about his daemon constantly. They would talk to him, guide him, warn him if he was in danger. I guess this was just perfectly normal back then. People in the ancient world could communicate with what they called God, or the gods, almost really. They would go to temples, perform rituals, and receive direct communication, voices, visions. That doesn't really happen today. They were receiving downloads of information. So think about it. What if this was so normalized back then that yes, even though they did talk about it, they didn't feel the need to prove it or anything. This was just common knowledge. This was their day-to-day life. But apparently, if none of this is true, then the only logical conclusion is that these people were just all insane. So they were just constantly tripping, but at the same time they were building the most magnificent architecture humanity has ever seen. It sounds the same to us today. But think about it. What if reality back then was different? What if the line between mind and matter was thin? Many of you know about Missing 411, where there are many cases of people deep in the woods, when all of a sudden, everything gets quiet, and people go through what is described as a portal.
Yep.
Basically, time slows down, and they enter another dimension. And yes, that was a random tangent, but think about it. What if history is similar? Throughout different time periods, our entire reality fluctuates between different frequencies, and during these phases, magical and supernatural effects were more powerful. It's similar to the concept of performing rituals during a full moon.
What up, dude?
Why would you do that? Well, during different astrological timings, different snapshots of time or alignments of heavenly bodies, there are shifts in reality that enhances the effects of specific archetypal energies. That's just one part of this. Another aspect is just how our mind develops over time. What if reality used to be more dreamlike, more impressionable, more responsive to consciousness? And then, something changed. Reality solidified. The material world became more fixed. And all of a sudden, these voices stopped. This direct communication ended, and magic became harder to access. This is the secret history of the world. At some point on our timeline, magic stopped working. Or at least in the way it was described by the ancients. Perhaps after a reset. This is when thought was trapped in form.
So you're saying magic worked better in the past because reality was more like a dream? And now it's hardened.
Exactly. Which is why during the early Renaissance period, the alchemists were trying to rediscover these lost art forms. And those who succeeded, like Saint Germain, were shrouded in secrecy and royalty. So when we talk about cults, secret societies, what do they all have in common? A belief in magic. Groups coming together to cause change through intention and secret rituals. Because magic isn't superstition. It's the foundation for how consciousness interacts with reality. The grimoires, the rituals, symbols, even religion, are different spiritual technologies, ways to interface with the deeper layers of existence. The only distinction to be made is there are exoteric and esoteric versions of this tech, where the esoteric tech is done with full awareness of the operating system, which explains why during the early Renaissance, the alchemists were trying to rediscover these lost art forms. But it's almost as if they couldn't really quite figure it out, because after the cataclysm, the reset, people were trying to remember how to do magic. But they had some very strange ideas. I mean, they literally could create artificial humans. The homunculus.
What's that?
Don't worry about it. Throughout the medieval ages, ancient magical practices got revived, like divine letter magic and astrological rituals from Arabic grimoires like the Picatrix. But here's the thing. These texts were either corrupted over time or intentionally coded to keep outsiders from understanding the real knowledge. So what you get are these exaggerated, bizarre claims, like mandrake plants that scream when harvested and kill anyone who hears it. Necromancy using dead languages to summon spirits or even higher divine beings. And even royalty getting into blood sacrifice rituals for demonic pacts. Elizabeth Bathory being the most infamous example. They had the symbols, rituals, invocations, but the understanding of why it worked was gone. So they filled in the gaps with superstition and fear. And that's when the witch trials started. Tens of thousands executed. But the question is, why was the church so terrified of this knowledge? The Library of Alexandria, up to 400,000 scrolls containing ancient knowledge, burned.
It's like, we can't let people find out the knowledge of self. It'll stop the power structure. And I say, I'm always say this, if I would have devoted my power to destroy something like a government or topple it, it would have got done. But I chose to move into my new apartment, and all I wanted was protection and peace. That was all in my affirmation, protection and peace. Each room, from closet to cabinet. Let me get peace throughout this whole motherfucker, through my affirmation. And my affirmation was simple. But it was the power and the intent, like along with my intention, just like, I didn't see my apartment as an apartment. I saw it as like whatever I saw it in my mind. It was like a palace. And hold on, look at your comments. Night being signed, yep. Switch places, yep. Got it, yep. Yep. Yep.
Nearly all destroyed by Spanish conquistadors. We have 4 left. 4. Hermetic texts, Gnostic Gospels, alchemical treatises. And what about the Cathars? Oh, that form of Christianity doesn't fit the narrative? Systematically hunted down and destroyed by the church.
Yeah, systematically hunted down and destroyed by the church. What the fuck did Cathlars do wrong? Oh, I think if I can remember, I think the Cathlars had the Book of Love or some shit. If I can remember, it was either that Book of Love incident. It was like something about like unlocking self. They had the Book of Love, and the motherfuckers was hunted down and tossed in a fire. There was one story of the Cathlars walking into a fire to sacrifice himself. I'm like, what the fuck going on? I'm like, the church was hunting everybody fucking down. Even the Illuminati got chased down by the Catholic Church. The Illuminati got chased down. So the Catholic Church ain't give a fuck. Watch the movie Angels and Demons and the Da Vinci Code. They'll let you know how real the Catholic Church is. They got shit. Vatican assassins? What? 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 Psychotic motherfuckers carving sigils in they self going after motherfucking people. What? They do what? I was mind-boggling. I'm like, damn, Tom Hanks, this is your best movie since Forrest Gump, nigga. I'm not calling Castaway a good movie. I'll be damned if I say a man talking to a ball deserves an award. Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code. Yo, the runtime is unbearable, but you gotta be a fan of dialogue heavy movies and suspense thriller. It ain't suspense action. This is like suspense thriller with a lot of heavy dialogue, and you gotta love history to really fuck with it too. Catholics. Yeah, yeah. You know, and it was, oh my God, you know, I ain't like the witch hunts either. There was a lot of innocent women that was being hunted. And plus, even, you know, like even the witches that got hunted, I'm, you know, like I still feel for them too. It's like, yo, motherfuckers think witchcraft is all crazy. I was like, man, these motherfuckers just are in tune with nature. like you bitch ass nigga. I watched a fucking witch grab some dirt, some nuts and berries, and a leaf. Did some shit, a blue flame popped up, and some shit got done. I'm like, yo. Like, I ain't see her like do anything over a cauldron with skeletons and shit. She ain't have a long ass nose with a wart sticking out. She ain't even had a hat. I ain't see her fly on the broom. I saw this chick grab a leaf, some nuts and berries, and some dirt. Threw this bitch in like a silver fucking golden bowl with some sigils on it, and the blue flame popped up, and some shit got done. What the fuck is so wrong with that? You acting like these motherfucking niggas came and took your motherfucking husband from you and shit. Burn the witch. A bitch got a math problem right. Burn the witch. Like, what? Niggas was retarded back in those fucking days. But we already know why, you know, like when it comes to motherfucking power structure, you know, you can kind of know why, but at the same time, it was, oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Like, you know. And plus, I love watching Charm. Charm is the shit. Those three witches can get it. Come here, Piper. Phoebe. Prue whoop your ass. Prue will whoop a nigga ass. Yeah. Hold on, let me get back to my motherfucking. I'll start thinking about the chicks from Charm. Alyssa Milano. The other chick named Shannon Doherty, the Holly girl, and what's the other name? Rosie McGowan. Cherry red hair, red lips. Even the phone agrees. She was in the movie Planet Terror with the gun for the leg. Oh, why the Vatican has the fucking most? Because they was going around killing people and taking the shit. What the fuck? They still have the torture devices they was using under the Vatican. Why would y'all even keep that, knowing the history? You know, I'm like, what? I guess we keep this for the people that we secretly bring here. Like, what? And there's places that you can't even go down there. So, like, seeing the torture device being kept, and there's a part that you can't see, no telling what the fuck is beyond those fucking doors in the underground at Vatican. I'm like, what? Y'all some motherfuckers. Shoot, but the real Bible is down there. That bitch got 1 million pages in this motherfucker. They don't want us to see. Or like a motherfucking dying god that needs adrenochrome to survive. Who knows? You know, man. But what we do know, the corruption of the Vatican and the rest of the Catholic churches. That's what we do know. And the history of how they hunted down and killed people, even went after the Illuminati and forced them underground. Think about that. The Illuminati, the so-called leaders of the world, got chased out by the Catholic Church. It is fucking hilarious.
Locked away, why? What's in there that's so dangerous that they can't let people see?
Maybe it's just superstition, and they're protecting people from wasting their time.
Maybe, but then why the death penalty? You don't execute thousands of people over nonsense. You execute people over power, over knowledge that threatens your control. Giordano Bruno.
And that's why the motherfucking Romans, the fucking Roman Catholic Church, or the Roman soldiers chased the fucking Gnostic Christians out the motherfucking spot and killed their ass. And the Gnostics had to bury the shit, which we get the Dead Sea Scrolls for. This is how I came across the fucking Solomon shit. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing the fucking Gnostics said, like, look, we're not no priests, we ain't no reverends, we ain't no motherfucking niggas trying to convert. We just trying to tell you that if your God exists, that motherfucker's a genocidal, homicidal maniac, and this planet is a prison, your body is a prison, and the only way out is through gnosis, knowledge of self. Peace, nigga. Oh shit, the Romans are coming. That's what happened. They got killed off, books got buried, the shit got motherfucking dug up in the 40s, I think after World War II or during World War II, and it got deciphered in the 70s, and now we know about the secret book of John, the book of Thomas, the Maccabees, Testament of Solomon, and the Goetia, and you know, and all the other ones. Gnostics became the Gnostics became the witches. Yo, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I'm like, yeah, but I'll become a witch too. The motherfuckers killed my ass. Or thousands of miles to get some. They're like, is you, hurricane, imagine. You're crazy. Crazy is an understatement, sir. In balance, I can only show you the door. It's up to you to walk through it. I'm sorry.
Burned at the stake in 1600. For what? Teaching Hermetic philosophy and claiming the universe was infinite? Why were they banning and burning alchebooks across Europe by death? Why would you need to pass laws against transmuting metals if it's not real? So what happened to all that lost knowledge? It didn't disappear. It went underground into secret societies. And it became the foundation for literally everything we call modern. Here's what they don't teach you. Our entire modern world is a cult. They just rebranded it. Isaac Newton, father of physics, right? Well, he spent more time on alchemy than gravity. He wasn't trying to turn lead into gold for money. He was trying to understand the fundamental transformation of matter and consciousness. His physics work came from his alchemy research. And he saw the universe as alive, conscious. It's just that modern science stripped out the spiritual parts and kept the math. Chemistry comes from alchemy. Paracelsus, the father of toxicology, was an alchemist who was not only the main author known for discussing the homunculus, but he also believed in the philosopher's stone. Carl Jung, founder of analytical psychology, literally conducted seances, studied alchemy, wrote about synchronicity in the collective unconscious. He even wrote his own alchemy dream book called the Red Book, which is its own rabbit hole. His concepts of archetypes is just ripped from Hermetic philosophy. The shadow, the anima, individuation, these are repackaged mystery school teachings about the soul's journey. Modern medicine, it comes from the Hermetic healing arts. The caduceus is the symbol of medicine. It's Hermes' staff, the god of alchemy and magic. Our entire government structure comes from mystery school hierarchies, degrees of initiation, hidden knowledge at the top, and the masses kept in the dark. Sound familiar? Even architecture. Think about it. What were the earliest structures? Temples. Vitruvius described buildings as mirroring the human body, in mirror of the divine. Ancient temples were positioned on ley lines, oriented to the stars, built with specific acoustics and geometric proportions. These were conscious.
Yeah. I was still in the process of studying that, the alchemy shit. And the moment that it was like, I don't know what took my mind away from it. I think it was some took my mind away, but it's some great study, and it was just like learning about all this shit was just amazing. And understand the parts of me already felt that I knew it. I'm like, I feel like I know this. And then it got confirmed like later on, like after I went through all my, all my spiritual shit. I'm like, yes, I do know. Oh yeah. I think what took me off, I think I got led to a direction of sound, vibration, frequency, and energy. Yeah, because studying the alchemy shit about the alchemical process, I don't know what led me to sound and frequency. But like it was something I was studying that led me to sound and frequency and vibration. And then I just kept studying that, learning about somatics and I guess observation theory or some shit like that. And then going to chaos theory. But I never went back to alchemy. I need to go back. And watch Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist is the shit. I love that show. Gotta fly, bro. Where we go to call soon. It's been a brilliant connection. All right, though, stay up. You already know what it is. Thanks for coming through. Shout out to Manza and Emma for bringing you through. They cool. Yup, and be on the lookout for Emma's song probably either later on today. If not today, it'll be tomorrow. And shout out to Manza. Y'all today, already know what it is. Welcome.
Amplifiers, metaphysical centers designed to transmute reality itself.
But that doesn't mean magic is real. Maybe they just had some good philosophical ideas mixed in with the nonsense.
Then explain why the people at the top, the power players, are still doing rituals.
Exactly. If the magic ain't real, then why the fuck are these evil motherfuckers that run this planet still doing rituals? And another thing, if magic ain't real, then how the fuck did my crib not burn up with the rest of that motherfucking building? Because I could just motherfucking put the spirituality aside. I could put the Jesus and God shit aside and be like this. I don't know what the fuck happened for my crib to be the only one not touched by fire. I am so mind blown right now. I do not know. I could be that guy. But I know why my crib didn't get burnt up. I know the work I put in on the spiritual level. And my power protected my crib. Why everybody say, "Oh, thank God and Jesus for you." I was like, nope. I've been saying fuck Jesus and God and the devil since 2006. This incident happened in 2017, so I know God do not like me or Jesus or his angels because I've been saying fuck them since '06. So if God and Jesus came down, wow, was this to get me to convert back to Christianity? Sorry, didn't work. I know what protected my career from that motherfucking fire. It was me, my magic, my spells, my affirmation, my visualization, which manifested protection on my apartment. While everything else was black, charred up, and iced over. My shit still stood. So, do you believe in magic? Yes, I believe in my own magic, not the ceremonial magic that you see on television, not the shit that these elites do. This was my power. And I might have to put up a community post of showing the news coverage because right after I walked outside, the news people pulled up. And guess who they had to talk to? Because everybody else was gone. They had to talk to me. I'm just getting off of work. Had my black flag on and everything. You know what I'm saying? Representing. Got to work. I think I got to work that motherfucking that night, like before I went in for my next midnight shift. That's, oh my God, we saw you on the news. Everything all right? I was like, yeah, dog, I'm good. I'm good. You know, but yeah.
Symbols, and still practicing in secret. But let's make a distinction. The ancient magical tradition, understanding reality's operating system, consciousness techniques, spiritual development, that's not evil. That's just how reality works. Magic is a tool, like fire. You can use it to cook food or heat your home, but you can also use it to burn down villages. The fire itself isn't good or evil. The intention is.
Exactly.
My husband used to.
But when elites use that knowledge for control.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the intention. And my whole full intention when I got my new spot was peace of mind and protection. But I could have used my intention and my magic to destroy some shit. And that is probably maybe another reason why the fucking feds or the military not coming at me. Like after seeing firsthand on what my power can do. They probably saw that news. I know they was watching because I was going in. You know? So I'm like, yo, fuck with me if you want to and watch what happened type shit. They don't know how to come at me. This is maybe, look, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I know they saw the news coverage on my life. Or maybe they looking back at themselves like, damn, we try to burn Hurricane up and realize, damn, we couldn't even do that. This nigga Hurricane, he really is the god of storms, wind, and fire. In the motherfucking reincarnated state in a nigga from Detroit. Maybe they scared of that. So who knows? But what I do know, and what everybody have seen, my power works. And it ain't it ain't just me tooting my own horn. It's just like, nigga, my power works. How motherfuckers say prayer work, you tell them to prove it, they can't prove it. I tell you my power works, they tell me to prove it, I could pull up a motherfucking news coverage of my crib not being touched by fucking fire. I have my proof. Where's your God at? Where's your proof that you have your personal relationship with God? Because I have a personal relationship with my God, my inner God, me. This is truly loving thyself when you do your inner work and shadow work. That's when you really, truly love yourself because you actually give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You really, truly give a fuck. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to take care of myself. And that shit will reflect in others. You know, they'll probably call you a crazy spiritual witch, but like it is what it is. I'd rather be a witch than be a brainwashed Christian. I'd rather be a motherfucking witch with powers that actually fucking work. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why I love playing those role-playing games. You know what I'm saying? We have the warrior, we have the white mage, and the black mage. You know, and we have the thief. We have the, you know, the barbarian. Like it's like, you know, like they all good guys saving the motherfucking world. We have a fucking white witch and a dark witch, one with light magic, one with dark magic, but they motherfucking using their powers to motherfucking save motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, but Christians automatically think, oh my God, you using this power, you evil and all this shit. You know, like I'll never forget a chick telling me, you a great man and all, but I can't be with you because you're not a fucking Christian. I'm like, bitch, you don't even know my power can protect your crib from a fucking fire or whatever possible danger that will come our way. You don't even understand what you just turned away. Bars. You know what I'm saying? You know, the motherfuckers say that, nigga, I am God. I can actually fucking prove it. When they say they talk to God, they can't prove any of that. But, like I said, we can put the spiritual shit aside and put the religious shit aside. What will explain why my crib didn't get touched by fire, but everything else burnt the fuck up? Your answer, and everybody's logical answer, will be, I don't know. Can't nobody say it was the geometry of the right spot, or it was the way the trees was blowing and it blocked the man's apartment. Like, no. The answer is you don't know. But when it comes to a person that has been going on the spiritual journey since 2009, you know, I left Christianity in 2006, but in 2009, that's when I really got into my studies. And then in 2015, that's when I got into the full meditation process. And then 2017, I lost my crib. But I'm still amazed by my power.
Manipulation, harm, when they hoard the power and keep the masses ignorant. That's evil magic. Not because magic is evil, but because the people who are using it are evil. What we see today with secret societies at the highest levels of power, that's the abuse of the system. That's taking sacred knowledge and weaponizing it. So when people or Christians say magic is evil or the occult is demonic, they're confusing the tool with how it's being used. A scalpel in a surgeon's hand saves lives. The same scalpel in a murderer's hand kills. The scalpel isn't the problem.
So there's good magic and bad magic?
I'm saying there's magic and then there's what you do with it. And the people in power today, they're doing some very dark things with very...
And I have to use my magic to protect myself from these evil motherfucking magicians out there using their magic to destroy people. Because real shit. I know there's no mystery on how the fire started. Like the fire started from the basement of the apartment I was in, but it was from a fucking crackhead that didn't want to actually pay an actual fucking light bill. Bitch kept on using the goddamn cord, and the shit triggered a fucking fire. But rumor has it that she did that shit on purpose. A firefighter got burnt in that incident, and the lady and her family had to jump out the fucking window. You know? That's how bad that fire was. But yeah, all started by a crackhead. I would love to blame the government. The government was after me, no. Just some crackhead bitch that don't want to get a fucking job or at least get a fucking hustle to pay a fucking legit bill. You want to motherfucking put the whole goddamn building at risk by using fucking cords for lights, you stupid bitch. Family had to lose their whole fucking crib.
Knowledge. Throughout history, one thing connects them all: a belief in occult knowledge and magical practice. But what are the implications of this if the Freemasons were responsible for the founding of America? Freemasonry is filled with bizarre rituals and ceremonies. Are we just going to ignore that? Even in mainstream history, George Washington invoked the great architect of the universe when performing the cornerstone ceremony for the Capitol. Why do you even need a cornerstone ritual? What's even crazier is the Masons did this for all sorts of buildings all throughout the different downtowns of America. You could say they are technically invoking spirits into these buildings. I mean, many of America's downtowns are considered to be haunted, so why does mainstream history ignore their obsession with the occult? Textbooks skip over the fact that the men who designed our government were practicing a later form of ceremonial magic.
Aren't they just a fancy social club that eats finger sandwiches?
Yeah, that's what most normies will say. And well, modern Freemasonry really is just a bunch of old people getting together and providing for the community, at least with the Blue Lodges. But keep in mind, Freemasonry today is not the same as it was before the early 1900s. If it's just a fraternity or social club, then why the secrecy? Why the oaths? Why the degrees of initiation where higher knowledge is revealed only to those who prove worthy? Why the use of occult symbols and iconography and rituals that are based entirely on esoteric Hebrew traditions? It's literally a derivation of early Hebrew and Christian cult societies, like the Knights Templar, Rosicrucians, and even other German sects. But the key here is that there's not just one secret society. A lot of people new to the subject or skeptics get lost in that. Different fraternities serve different purposes. Freemasonry is literally a secret society based on architecture. It's free masonry. Is it possible that these Freemasons found the architecture in America, where they then repurposed this infrastructure into what we now call downtowns or boomtowns? Cities with incredible Victorian architecture, supposedly built in impossibly short time frames in the late 19th century. Was there a reset in the early 1800s in America? The War of 1812, the Civil War, literally all fought and designed by Freemasons. Brothers fighting brothers. This is where the occult meets history, as it is blatantly clear this occult fraternity set its purpose out on rewriting and or manipulating history in their favor. There is no denying that. And don't get me started on all the photo manipulation in our historical archives. This is a huge issue that still has not been addressed by mainstream historians. Not only were they purposefully manipulating historical photos, but there are several photographic collections from the late 1800s with empty streets and ghost towns. Not only in America, but across the world. And before you comment exposure times, as that's most people's immediate response to this phenomena, let me just respond now. There are no exposure streaks, and if there are, you can clearly see them. Exposure alone is not responsible for the empty streets. 2, we have to keep in mind that they did have low exposure time cameras since the 1860s. So really, the only possible explanation is that these photos were shot in the morning. But my response would be why? Why don't we have hundreds, if not thousands of photos of these cities between the 1860s and 1880s? Photographic technology was readily available. There's not one single battle of the Civil War. Not one. There is no excuse for that. We have portraits of the men in their tents, but none of the actual battles themselves. And to top it off, it is a fact that they were rearranging bodies in order to create fake photographs after the supposed battles had taken place. Think about it. If you could take high-resolution photographs, like the panorama of San Francisco in 1860, then there's no excuse on why they don't have one single Civil War battle photo. This is 20 years after San Francisco's founding, by the way. This amount of infrastructure in that time period is impossible. Keep in mind, they did this all with horse and buggy. Yeah, right. So the idea is, what if they found these American cities and then repopulated them? Yes, that would mean American history is a lie. In the late 1800s, out of nowhere, major cities across America suddenly have massive neoclassical buildings, cathedrals, monuments. And the official story is that this was built in a few years by a civilization that supposedly traveled by horse and buggy. Buildings more advanced than what we construct today with modern technology. Secret societies set up in every major city right around this time. Freemason lodges, Oddfellows halls, fraternal orders, all establishing themselves during this early boomtown creation period. Then, after all this insane development, Almost every single major city in America went through some great cataclysm of some kind. In most cases, it was these great fires. San Francisco destroyed in the 1906 earthquake, rebuilt in 3 years with massive classical buildings. Chicago, Great Fire of 1871, rebuilt almost overnight. These cities weren't built, they were found. And what about the World's Fairs? You really think they would just build all that for the public? Even if the narrative is true, which is complete BS that this is entirely made of wood and plaster.
Wait, don't they have photographs?
Yeah, well, photographs can be fake. See, the thing that skeptics don't understand is that if this really is true, then there would 100% be an incentive to cover it up. And guess what? Did you know that almost every single World Fair, not just in America, but also in Europe, were founded and set up by Freemasons? See, so history doesn't really like to mention that. I've read several World's Fairs books, and if Freemasons are mentioned at all, it's always a simple side note. They don't like to talk about how the World's Fairs were created by Freemasons to display the technical advancements of the current civilization after a reset, displaying what would be considered new technology to this new population. And then there's the orphans. Between 1854 and 1929, over 250,000 orphan children were transported across America on trains. But where did they all come from? Where were their parents?
Yeah, I'm still tripping about the orphan trains. I'm still tripping about the orphan trains. Where the fuck did these kids come from? Like real fucking shit. Where the fuck did they come from? I'm still tripping on that one.
And guess what? The Oddfellows ran orphan homes in nearly every city. Massive institutions housing thousands of children. There was a reset, and if populations disappeared, you would need to repopulate. This is the origin of the cabbage babies. How parents would tell their children in the past that the stork brought you. These weren't just cute stories. They were covering up where children actually came from. Why would an entire generation need a fairy tale about their origins? Check that out if you haven't seen it. But now it kind of gets into what's underneath these cities. Tunnels. Why are there underground tunnels in almost every single downtown? Extensive underground networks connecting buildings? The official story says prohibition or smuggling, but these tunnels are connected to orphan homes, Masonic lodges, and government buildings. It's a network for moving something, or someone without being seen. And here's where things get really dark. Because MK Ultra was just a revival of early hallucinogenic magical mind control practices. None of this is new. It is the practice of creating trauma-based mind-controlled individuals for positions of power. You want to know why politicians all seem the same? Why they follow the script, and they all contradict themselves? It's because they're not making decisions. They're programmed, created through systematic trauma, occult ritual abuse, probably even cloning programs, placed into positions of control. These people are NPCs. They're not free-thinking individuals. They're assets. They probably don't have an inner monologue. This gives us more insight behind the tradition of Bohemian Grove. I mean, it's a solid question. Why are the elites and world leaders performing mock sacrifices to a 40-foot owl? And what's up with the spirit cooking dinners with celebrity elites? Occult symbols are everywhere in our government buildings, currency, monuments. George Washington is literally depicted as a god. The people at the highest levels of power still practice rituals. And some of these are blatantly satanic or evil, like they're using the same occult knowledge from ancient mystery schools, but for control instead of enlightenment.
So then is magic real or not?
Does it matter? The people running the world think it is, and they've been using it for thousands of years while keeping everyone else in the dark. Whether you believe it or not, understanding this changes how you see everything. History, power, reality itself. So that's the occult history they don't teach you. From ancient magic to modern power structures. The knowledge never disappeared. It just went underground. Thanks for watching. And come on, wait.
The knowledge never disappeared. It just went underground. The world leaders is using it. You better use your power too. And in the words of Captain Planet, the power is yours. Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero. That's my shit. Corporations was mad as hell about that goddamn show. They're like, you making us look bad. Bitch, y'all destroying the goddamn planet for real. We're the Planeteers. You can be one too. Saving our planet is the thing to do, looking at. But shout out to everybody. And the question is, do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Yes. Because they got magic brainwashing a whole bunch of people to not wake up and see what the fuck going on in this world. Bread and circus to keep you from looking within. Political and religious dogma keep you from looking within. You know what I'm saying? Look within, find your inner power, take back your life, take back your household, take back your land. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my inner power protected my crib from a fire. You know what I'm saying? So shit, it's within. And plus, it's the intention behind it. Magic is not good nor evil. It's the person behind the fucking gun. It's the intention that you're using. And the elites, the world leaders, all these motherfuckers that be doing these rituals, they're using their magic to keep us down. We need magic to protect ourselves and to obliterate our enemies. So, you know, with that being said, this is HHN Special Stories. Much love to my UK correspondent, Vanta. You already know what it is. Be on the lookout for our new up-and-coming videos. You know what I'm saying? With my lovely music behind it. You know what I'm saying? With her hot spin on it. You know what I'm saying? And bringing us the news from the UK. What's going down over there. Still raining over there. Starmer is a wanker all day. And you already know what it is. Much love to my guy, this Vanta. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Faye. Salute Rum Solo. Dig a hole and take a shite. Yo, shout out to Faye, shout out to Solo. And who else was here? Yeah, shout out to Eyes Wide Shut. What's good? And much love to Jess. And about to get up out of here. Catch you on the next one. Peace. You know it. Salute.